Welcome to Arise Talk Show with Catherine Mutune. Real stories turning pain into passion.
Welcome to Arise, turning pain into purpose. And today we are having a conversation with Catherine Mutune. Catherine Mutune underwent depression from the year 2016. It's been about 3 years now.
Yeah.
So Catherine, just break it to us. How has that been for you? How has the 3 years been for you?
Oh my God. It's both heaven and it's both hell.
Mm-hmm.
Depression is a whole lot like hell. And the other side of it is hypomania, which is a piece of heaven.
So what is hypomania? And I know we'll come into the details of that.
Now, the main word, the main phrase for it medically, it's a bipolar mood disorder.
All right.
And it has two sides, like the sides of a pole, the way like the earth has North Pole and South Pole. So the highest side is called hypomania, where someone is very active, they are very confident, they're executing nice ideas, and they're very brilliant, and they're happy with themselves and happy with the world. And the reverse is also as intense. When someone is depressed, their heart feels numb, their brain feels frozen, their body is stiff, they can't move, they can't do anything. They're just not happy with life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that, of course, two sides.
Yeah.
And most of the time we know the side of depression.
Yeah.
Where when someone is quiet, they're withdrawn.
They're not picking calls.
Right.
They're not showing up for functions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just want to sit in their own quiet corner.
We never talk a lot about the other side.
Hypomania.
Where someone is confident,
Yeah.
and people think, wow, you're doing so well with your life.
In fact, that's the person you want to hire if they come for an interview.
Right.
Yeah, because they're oozing intelligence.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So what have you suffered from? Is it the depression?
Both.
Oh, you suffered both?
Yeah.
Kindly share with us your experience in terms of the withdrawing, the depression part of it, then we can also understand the other side.
Like I said, depression is hell.
Mm-hmm.
You're alive, but you're pretty much dead. Meaning you're on this planet, but you've not been buried.
Right.
But in yourself, you've been buried in the sense that even if someone tells you they love you, it has no effect on you because your heart is numbed. It's I don't even have the word for it. Sometimes friends will call you out for functions and parties which normally you'd love to go, then you don't want to go.
Right.
You would be served your best meal, you don't want to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
You will sleep for over 16 hours.
Wow.
You won't be able to do normal tasks, daily routines like just sweeping the house, cleaning dishes. When you're working on an assignment, especially if you're in the office, your thoughts are scattered. You're sure you have a brilliant mind. You look at the assignment, you know it's doable. However, when you begin to do it, the thoughts just disappear in between. And then you're trying to pull yourself together, you're trying to get muscle in your brain, you're saying, I can do this, I can do this. And then the brain just lets go. It doesn't do anything. So when someone is depressed, a task that would normally take them like 15 minutes would take them 2 to 4 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, on a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
When they've really tried, it will take them like half an hour, 1 hour, but they would have really struggled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And talking about hypomania,
Yeah.
someone has grand ideas.
Yeah.
You feel like you want to manage the world.
In fact, the term for it is you're on cloud 9. I don't know. You're not even in this world. You're at stratosphere, just up there.
Right.
Yeah.
But do you know that you're suffering from the condition by being, at that particular position, especially for hypomania?
For the first time, someone won't notice. It's people around them that will notice. For instance, someone will speak very fast, and that is because their thoughts are also racing at a
Right.
very high speed. And if I were a manager and I was working with such a person, I would try to help them process what they are doing. If they have these grand ideas, I either get them to write about them or they sit with me and write. Because eventually, when that phase is over, when you look at those ideas, at first they sound very out of this world, but some of them are actually workable and doable. So if I'm a manager and I have this person, I can tell they have these grand ideas that don't look possible right now. I would either let them journal the ideas, or I journal the ideas for them. So when they come back to a normal state of doing things, we can go through the ideas and then see what is executable, workable.
Right. So a lot of people will not realize that this person has an issue.
No.
Or if they realize, I'm sure some of them watasema huyu ni chizi.
Yeah, they'll be dismissive.
Right.
Some phrases that I've actually used, like nati meachilia hapa.
Kanati kamefunguka.
And network imepotea. Yeah, those are the phrases that we use. And they come out as funny, but for someone who's going through a mental disorder, they're not funny.
Right.
They're not funny. And the other thing is, statistics-wise,
Right.
1 in 4 people will suffer from bipolar mood disorder. They will either be hit and be on treatment. They will either be about to be hit, but they have no idea, or they have been hit and they don't know how to go about it. They don't even know they have the disorder. They just know something is wrong. I'm not working the way I normally used to work. I'm not the mother I used to be, but they don't know a way out of it. Because there's a lack in terms of awareness.
Right, that's true.
And because mental health is something we don't want to touch, it's they actually call it a silent killer. Yeah.
So what are the causes of bipolar mood disorder?
Scientists say that there's no known cause. However, sometimes it's associated with genes. The other reason is trauma. So 3, no known cause, trauma, genetic disorder.
All right.
Yeah.
So trauma, are there levels of trauma that pushes someone into getting that condition?
Yeah, emotional trauma.
All right.
If someone died, if a relationship ended, if someone lost a dog, a pet. I mean, it sounds funny. Who would cry over a dog? But people do.
Oh, yeah.
People grieve over pets. People grieve over job losses. What else? War.
Right.
Soldiers who've been sent to a mission
A war
somewhere
zone,
because of
right.
the experience is intense. You've never seen dead bodies. You've never had to see your friend die or your colleague die. Like my trigger last year, a colleague of mine passed on.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that pushed you into
Yeah,
this.
because she was one of the people that I admired the most. She was the most hardworking person I've ever met.
Right.
Yeah. And then they were just in the office. Got a pain in the chest. In a few hours, they were gone.
Wow.
It hit me hard.
So Catherine, kindly just explain to us about the genetic part of it. Does it mean that if someone has suffered in your line, there are chances that another person will suffer? Statistically, is it after 1, 2, 3 generations? Or how do you break that down?
I don't know about the statistics part,
Right.
but if someone in your family has suffered a mental disorder, you're also most likely to suffer. Yeah, but and then it's selective. It doesn't. Not everyone will suffer, but at least one.
Right.
Yeah, and it can be not immediate family member, even a grandmother, an auntie.
Right.
Yeah, just
Extended
some.
family.
Yeah.
A lot of people think, especially in our African traditional setup, think that issues like bipolar, mood disorder, mental health issues is witchcraft. Is it true?
Like I said, I'd like to look at it with a spiritual angle.
All right.
Before anything happens on this planet, it has been approved there in the heavenlies.
Okay.
People will read the story of Job in the Bible. Before he lost everything and got sick, the devil and God up there had a discussion, and they said, okay, God gave the devil permission to
Afflict.
to torment Job.
Right.
So nothing will happen to you that God has not allowed.
All right. Talking about the IQ,
Mm-hmm.
that's intelligence, quotient, and even emotional content.
Mm-hmm.
How is it affected by bipolar mood disorder?
Now, when someone is in this condition, they tend to be selfish, because you're already drained, and people expect you to continue being the way you were.
Right.
If you are working, people expect you to be the same. If you are happy, people expect you to be the same. Now, someone who's in this condition and people are requiring things from you and you feel already drained, you're going to get angry. You're going to be definitely angry, because someone wants support from me, but I don't even know who I am at this point. So why do you want something from me?
And I don't know myself.
How about you let me figure me out, then I can help you.
Is it deliberate?
It's not
within you to
no,
say,
no. You feel exhausted. You're drained.
Right.
All of you is gone, and then someone wants part of you. I need to find it first before I give it to you.
So how does that affect relationships?
Relationships.
So someone who's going through this will push people away.
They'll push people away.
Okay.
In most cases, if someone is dating, the relationship will break. Because now you're dating someone you don't understand anymore.
Right.
They've changed. They used to be happy, now they're moody. They used to do things for you, now they can't. They used to take you places, now they don't want to. They used to spend money on you, they don't want to. And when someone is hypomanic,
right,
the expenditure is also crazy. They'll go swipe a shopping of 100K, and say if it's a family situation, a husband and a wife, and then maybe we agreed, pay school fees, pay rent, do shopping, and then you went and bought one item that is 100,000, and we've not met these other needs. There'll be a fight in that house.
Right.
Then hypomanic stage, when you're high, your sex drive is high. When you're feeling low, your sex drive is low.
Okay.
So someone will go cheat because they think, I don't get what I used to get at home.
At home.
Yeah.
Wow. And of course, when your sex drive is very high,
someone won't match it up.
So you think, I need something, I need to go elsewhere.
I need help somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So Catherine, we have quite a number of people at the workplace who are undergoing bipolar mood disorder. So how is it managed? How do we manage it? How do we create awareness, especially at the workplace? And is it possible?
Okay. It's possible to create awareness. In 2016, before I got onto medication, I didn't know what I was going through. My son had been sick for most of July. And at that time I was going to work and going to school, and after work I'd spend most of the nights taking care of him. So as a result, I didn't rest for like 2 weeks. I didn't sleep. And after that, when I went to work, I was fatigued. Then I couldn't concentrate, so I went to my boss and asked for time out. I was given 2 weeks to rest. After resting, when I went back to work, I couldn't concentrate at all. For instance, like on the keyboard, my hands were shaking, my thoughts were scattered, I was moody, and for no good reason, I'd go to the ladies and sit there and cry.
Wow.
And then I tried to understand, why am I crying? No one has offended me, I'm not stressed out, my bills are paid, my boss is not shouting at me, everything at home is fine. So I didn't even know why I was crying. So one day I was just playing with the mouse on my hand, and I tipped on some archived email. And then this mail came up, symptoms of depression. It was done by ICAS. ICAS supports organizations in employee wellness. So they'll send in different topics: asthma, heart issues, cancer. So for this specific one, it was about depression. And when I read that article, all the symptoms that I had were there. Crying for no reason, not being able to concentrate, low mood. All the reasons are there. Then I called my sister, I told her, I think I'm depressed.
Before that, did you ever thought that that was an issue you had before bumping into that email?
No, I didn't know.
All right.
I knew something was wrong. I didn't know why, and I didn't know how to fix it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So a manager in a work situation or a leader in a work situation, how are they supposed to help someone who's going through it? And did you find help at the workplace where you are?
I never ever told.
Of course, after discovering.
I only told one person at my place of work, and because they were persistent and they appeared to be concerned. Otherwise, I never wanted to talk about it because one, it's embarrassing. When you're in a workplace, you're measured by your performance and level of intelligence. So if your mental health is not where it's supposed to be and you're measured by your intelligence, so why are you here in the first place? Because there's once I had a manager say that if you're a footballer and you break your leg and doctors have to cut it, can you play football?
Right.
So I had this from a manager. So I applied the same thinking. If you're a thinker, your brain is
Damaged.
Right. You can't work the way you used to work.
Right.
So why are you here?
Wow.
Why are you here?
That's heavy, huh? So what did you do? I mean, you also just can't stand up and leave, or do you?
No. I didn't stand up. I didn't leave because the reality of life is still the same.
Yeah.
You have to pay bills. I have a child to raise. I have my parents. They need my support. So I didn't leave.
Right.
I didn't talk to it. I didn't talk to my boss about it.
All right. But what is, or rather, where do you get to the point where you clearly know this is affecting your productivity at the workplace, and it's about time to speak to your manager or your boss?
What I did after I'd gone to see a psychiatrist, I asked for sick off.
All right.
Because people don't understand this. The same way you have malaria and you get a sick off, if your brain is sick, then you need a sick off. And it's not laziness.
That's right.
This is something that people should do. In fact, in the US, the steps that are taken to creating some sort of support for people who have mental issues, at least 5 days in a year. On the leave schedule, if you're having a mental disorder and you need help, or maybe you don't even need help, they're given 5 days to go home and rest. 5 days, go home and sleep. Can we have that in Kenya? I don't think so.
Why not?
Because our system is money driven. It's
we
money first, people later.
And we haven't gotten to the point of understanding that this is actually a major issue.
Yeah.
That's affecting our people.
Yeah.
And your boss pushes you, says, just keep going, just keep, utapona, utakuwa sawa. That's true.
Yeah, people will push you to continue to work. But at the end of the day, you must remember that your wellness is your responsibility.
That's right. That's right.
And not just about mental health. How you feel and think about your life is your responsibility. No one can fix that for you.
That's right.
No matter how much they loved you.
Why is it important for someone to seek medical intervention?
Because now, in my case, what helps, because I was able to talk to the doctor and say, this is what I feel. And then from what you're describing, they give you medication that is supposed to help you manage that. However, if someone is going for treatment, especially drug use, they must know the first few months are going to feel like hell. Because we're trying to fix your brain. Actually, the brain, at the back of the brain, there are things called neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters transport information in the brain. With the case of bipolar, it's the neurotransmitters that become weak. So they're not transmitting information the way they should.
Right.
Yeah.
So medicine is able to fix that?
Not immediately. It can even take 6 months.
Right.
6 months. And in that period, you'll pretty much feel like a zombie.
Wow. Because they're heavy.
They are heavy.
The medicine is heavy.
Yeah, you'll feel sleepy.
And you need a lot of drowsiness as well?
A lot of drowsiness. There's one moment while having a meeting with my boss, actually my team members and the boss was there. So he said he was talking about something and was really trying to keep awake. Remember, I'd not told them that I'm on drugs. And I figured for me to continue keeping awake, let me ask a question. So I asked a question and then looked at him, and just before he answered, Drupa went. I just dozed off. Then he was shocked. He was like, I'm trying to answer your question and then you just sleep
on me.
How?
Wow.
How'd you do that? How'd you do that?
And so, I mean, like you said earlier, so it's very important for them to understand what you're going through, because he will have thought, yeah, it's that thing again.
You're just being rude.
Yeah, true.
How
in that
can
situation.
You just sleep when I'm answering your question?
That's true.
How is that even possible?
I mean, in a lot of people, again, especially if someone is undergoing through hypomania, they think, wow, this guy might be a genius. Sometimes things are working, you know, your mind is racing, you're like a Ferrari,
yes.
You know, your mind is, and people think, this guy knows so much. Is it true that it's actually genius sometimes? Or it's a condition? It's a medical condition.
Okay, number one, yes, it's a eureka moment. You're like, yeah, I've gotten where I wanted to get. And for my case, most of the things that I've done right now to be self-employed were the same ideas that I had last year when I was treated for hypomania, last year, June. So the business card I'm using now, it was designed then. Exact same business card.
Right.
The business I'm doing now, which is public relations and career coaching, I thought about it then when I was creating those cards. I'm making money out of it, I'm changing people's lives, but anyone who had caught me at that time would have said, I think she's crazy. So like I said, what I'm doing right now, career coaching and public relations, is something that I'd thought about a year ago, and I thought about the period that I was admitted in hospital for hypomania. Those are the ideas I had then. However, the difference is I had put it in a journal. When you're experiencing this flood of thoughts and ideas and everything, the best thing is to write it down. If you're on medication and it's heavy, your hands are shaking, you can't write, get someone to journal it for you.
All right.
If you're a manager and you notice, okay, there's this brilliant person in my team, they have great ideas, but they seem inconsistent, help them to record it. Once they get to the normal mood, go through them. You'll find some ideas are very workable and some ideas are actually profitable. Like what I did in my last job. There are two things I did. I did coaching for customer service executives.
All right.
It's still in place today. I did how to control failed payments via mobile money.
Okay.
How do you educate customers so that they pay correctly and then the company gets money? That is still in place today, though I'm not working in the same place.
Right.
So brilliant ideas, yes. Document them, yes. And make sure that this individual that has these brilliant ideas is supported.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it still makes sense. It still
So they are a
is
genius.
beneficial. They are a genius, right?
They are a genius.
All right. The life we live today in Kenya and generally in the world is very stressful. And from the rates of suicide, statistically, it's actually 1 out of 4 people undergo depression, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of stress comes with that.
Yeah.
Is it truly that this is a ticking time bomb in our
It
nation
is.
today?
It is. I think last year, before I decided to come out and speak and try to create awareness around mental health, because our offices were at, they're still at Mombasa
Along
Road.
Mombasa Road,
Along
yes.
Mombasa Road.
Right.
So one day, I'm coming to work in the morning around 8:30 a.m. And when I'm just about to walk in, I see someone hanging on a tree.
Wow.
There was a guy that had committed suicide. Police had not come to pick his body, he was just hanging there. Then I came to the office and I sat down, and for some minutes I had zoned out. I was not on this planet. I was wondering, how is it possible that someone can just give up on life? Is it true that there was no one who could listen to them? Is it true that no one understood what they were going through? Because with depression, someone gets to the point where they actually give up on life and suicide becomes an option.
Wow.
And it will become an option if someone does not have a support system like family, friends, the church, like your prayer group, your cell group. In our church, we call them jumuiyas.
Right.
So for me, God has been gracious. People in my jumuiya, they know about my story. They've given me support. My family has given me support. I have 2 or 3 friends who will call and ask me, how you're doing. Someone who'd even come and say, okay, let me do your dishes, let me cook a meal for you. If you don't have someone to pay to do your laundry, I'll do your laundry. And I mean, love can change the world.
That's right. So I mean, talking about this being a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
So support is very key.
Very
That's what
key.
you're saying.
It's even bigger than the medication.
Right.
Because the doctor will listen to the symptoms, tell you, oh, this is the drug, go buy this drug. Pap, it's finished. The processing of everything will be done at home. And that's where you need your friends and family.
Right. Do you think the government has put in place the right measures in terms of policies, in terms of medical attention, getting drugs that are more affordable? Or are we still challenged in that?
Whoa. I don't know, because for me, I sought medical intervention and it was a private doctor.
Right. And very expensive.
Very expensive. Consultation is about 4,000 to 10,000 per session.
Wow.
So you can imagine, if you don't have a job, what are you going to do? So when I was employed, I was lucky because I had a medical cover. And this cover, within the cover, there was around an allocation for 200,000 for mental health wellness. So now the question comes in, the insurance companies that we have right now, do they want to take care of this condition? Do they? Considering there's a possibility that it's lifelong.
True.
Who wants to take care of that?
No one wants to. I mean, the insurance companies definitely will want to pay lesser premiums.
Yeah. So who wants to take care? But
so there's actually a need for government to put in the right policies. The same way we're talking about cancer and 90 people dying every single day. And those are people who've been diagnosed. Many others die out of misdiagnosis.
Yeah.
So it's very important for government to go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
At the workplace, is it important also for the HR or whoever is involved to come up with the right policies to that effect as well?
But key is awareness. Remember, I said that I didn't know what I was feeling and experiencing until I read it in a company newsletter.
Right.
I didn't.
Wow.
So you can imagine how much impact that can be if we just first, before creating the policies and everything, just creating awareness.
It's very important.
Yeah, so in the workplace, it's crucial. Say, for instance, if you have 4,000 employees, if we follow the statistic of one in 4 people,
Right.
then that means 1,000 people in your organization
250.
are suffering from. If you have 4,000 employees,
1,000 are suffering.
1,000 are suffering.
If you have 1,000, 250 are suffering.
Yeah, and
That's a huge
you can
number.
count it in terms of money. If this employee is supposed to bring me $1 million in a month,
Yeah. So if it's 1,000 people,
and there are 1,000 people, how much
that's
have
a
we
billion.
lost?
That's $1 billion.
Government, if I have 1 million people, how many are we in Kenya? 40 million.
Thereabout.
So there's 1 million of us that are suffering.
Wow.
And how much is their tax per month? Let's give it 20,000. So 1 million times 20,000, how much have we lost if these people commit suicide?
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
And then we'll say that hakuna pesa Kenya.
Yet we were supposed to do something about
We could
it.
have done something.
That's
but we
true.
let it slide.
That's true. Do you think, and as we wind up this, do you think we have created proper awareness in terms of the media?
Right now, I've seen there are steps. I've seen the newspapers highlighting.
All right.
I've had a few media personalities speak about mental health, but not as much. If you look at people in America, they're very vocal about it, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. In fact, when I was at home and doing nothing, I was just reading stories of this movie stars in America who've gone through depression, how they've gotten out of it, and they went back to their acting careers, and they are living a perfect life right now because whatever it is they are going through is being managed.
Right.
How about to bring that home?
Would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
In your entire career, and especially after you discover that this is something you're experiencing, what is that one highlight that has brought a lot of meaning to you? And even probably the reason why you're here today. Share with us that. And why it's important for everyone who's going through this to get to that point and say, I have to make a difference.
I believe everything that a person is, their look, your height, your size, the color of your teeth, the color of your eyes, everything you are, the good, the bad, the ugly. God has put it in a package, and that package is you. And everything that God has made in you is supposed to make this world a better place.
That's right.
So if it's a tragic event, embrace it and try to make steps to move forward. Right now I'm talking about mental health. I hope that someone sitting somewhere who was just about to give up on life gets up and says, okay, this is my life. It has not worked the way I'd wished, but I can pick up and move on and do something and change my life and change someone else's life. So get up and go, get up and go. Don't stick in there.
Catherine Mutune, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And we wish you well.
Asante sana.
All right.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for tuning in. That has been Arise, turning pain into purpose. My name is Anthony Ndiema.
Thank you for watching Arise Talk Show with Catherine Mutune. Join us again for more inspirational true stories. Please click here to subscribe.